So in our last application problem, we have that each CD in a store costs $10, each book costs $6. We want to spend exactly $32. Let's define our variables and write an equation to model this situation. All right, so I'm going to model my first variable. I'm going to call C, and this is the number of CDs I purchase. All right, and then I'm going to call my second variable B, and this is the number of books I purchase. All right, well, we have kind of two reoccurring charges here. It's $10 per book, it's $10 per CD and $6 per book. All right, so how can I model this situation? This isn't going to be like slope-intercept form. There's not just one reoccurring fee. I have two different reoccurring fees on two different variables. $10 per CD and $6 per book. All right, so for CDs, $10 per CD, if I want to figure out how much money I spent on CDs, I'm going to take 10 times C, right? If I buy one CD, I spend $10. If I buy 3 CDs, I spend $30. So 10 times C is going to give me the amount of CDs that I purchase. And 6 times B is going to give me the amount that I spent on books, right? So I take the number of books that I purchase, I multiply it by 6, I'm going to get my total cost there. Okay? Now, I take the total amount that I spent on CDs and the total amount that I spent on books, and if I add these together, it says I want to spend exactly $32. So if I add the two amounts together, that has to equal 32. There is my equation of the line. So this one is not in slope-intercept form because I have two reoccurring fees on two different variables. Okay, two reoccurring rate of changes. All right, it's $10 per CD, $6 per book. If I add those amounts together, that's going to equal 32. So this is an equation in standard form. And if you remember, we talked about that briefly at the beginning of the unit. It's going to model that. It's not going to be y equals mx plus b. Okay, so a big key job that you have is identifying whether your application problem, whether you're going to write it in slope-intercept form or whether you're going to write it in standard form. Okay, so you really have to understand what's going on in the situation in order to correctly model that situation. Okay, so try a standard form application problem. I'm going to zoom out, that way you can see it all. Okay, so define your variables. That's key first. Write an equation, and then you can use that equation. All right, pause the video and try this one out. All right, so there is your practice problem. Okay, there's the answers. There's a standard form. $12.99 per thin crust, $17.99 per deep dish pizza. That's two different variables with their own rate. So this is going to be in standard form. Okay? Make sure you do the practice problems, your worksheet, so that you see all these problems meshed together and are able to do all of them. Okay? If you have any questions, please let me know. Make sure you are practicing these skills. Super important here. All right? Have a good one. Be good.